quick question, really quick, a poll for the girls and the gays. Do we have any girls and gays? Okay, awesome. Have any of you guys ever half-heartedly called someone daddy? Let me explain. Instead of yes, daddy, or however you would say it in bed, it comes out like, yes, dad. It just stops one syllable short, 2 letters, and it makes all the difference in the world. This happened to me recently. It was the worst day of my life. I was with this guy. We're having sex. He wanted me to call him daddy, and that word doesn't come naturally to me, but I'll try anything once or twice. And so we're having sex, and I say my usual go-to words, like yes. Yes means good job, honey. Like okay, keep going. And then he said what every guy says, what every girl doesn't want to hear. He said, yes, what? I was like, yes, please. Please is another great word. You can say please by itself. You can say please fuck, please yes, yes, please. So I say yes, please. And then I'm like, all right, I gotta drop the D word. And you guys know what I said. I basically called him Papa. And needless to say, I never saw him again. I do not want to fuck my dad. And he was also a lot older. He was 50. But, and he was a father, and I still couldn't say it. But anyway, I think it's funny that dirty talk, we're walking this thin line between embarrassing and sexy. And it's the same with everyday talk. For instance, if I said Adolf the Red-Nosed Reindeer, which I did once, but I don't blame that on myself. That was my teachers for teaching us about World War II around the holiday season. I was in 7th grade, doesn't matter. Anyway, but something you guys should know about me is that I'm not a rule follower. For instance, I read an article in the New York Times recently about how 20-somethings are really damaged because they missed their 20s due to COVID. At least that's what I think it was about. I only read the title. It's a stupid joke. But anyway, so I read the article and I couldn't relate to it at all because I had the best 2 years of my life during COVID. I went to Miami every weekend just because it never hit them there. It's true. I don't know. I also, I was 20 at the time, so me and my friends were at that point in life where we would risk death for a vodka Red Bull. And I also developed a bit of a romance. It was so crazy. Every time I'd land back in New York, I'd get a phone call from this guy, Pedro. And he would call me up, ask me about my weekend. We'd get really deep and personal. And finally, I was like, Pedro, how'd you get my number? Turns out he was a COVID contact tracer. This is a true story. Like, I thought he was flirting. We got so personal. And he was just doing his government job, trying to stop the spread. And, but no, Pedro, I should have known. It was really obvious. He'd call me up and he'd be like, how many people did you come in contact with this weekend? And I'd be like, Pedro, babe, stop being so jealous. Pedro was right. I was wrong. I should have listened to him because I did end up testing positive for chlamydia. But chlamydia is nothing. Chlamydia is child's play. What I'm really scared of is getting herpes because my roommate, she works at an OBGYN, so she comes home every day with another HHS, which is a herpes horror story. And my favorite one is this 8-year-old woman hasn't had sex in 20 years, but she's got a scorching, raging case of herpes. I'm about to ruin everyone's night. You can get herpes, and it can lay dormant for however many years, in this case 20. So I could have herpes right now because of some stupid night I had when I was 3 years old. Yeah, let that sink in. No, that wasn't a pedophilia joke, sorry. Someone told me to cut that joke, and I was like, no, it's not about like pedophilia, it's just I was a horny 3-year-old. I will leave you guys with this. My sister recently came out as straight, which is a thing people are doing now. It's a Gen Z thing, and I'm Gen Z, so I'm guilty of it too. I'm always like, hi, I'm Saoirse, I'm a straight, cis, white, hetero female with a vagina. That's how I have to introduce myself every time, or else how would they know? But yeah, so she came out straight, and my Irish Catholic grandma, Nancy, love her, she was like, oh, well, I knew when she came out as gay at 11, it was fake. And we were like, Grandma, like, come on, don't be homophobic. Like, she's got short hair. That's really all she had going for her, because she was the worst fake lesbian I'd ever met. She was like the Margaret Thatcher of lesbians. I honestly don't know who Margaret Thatcher is. I just, that came up when I Googled lesbians. All right, thank you guys.